Hello, everyone. It is Julie Hedges of the Tarot Journey, and you are here live for Monday Metta on the Tarot Journey. And I am out here in nature almost. I'm at one of my favorite sit spots, as many Kansmen would say, out here listening to the wonderful red-winged blackbirds that are flitting by and talking out here and in front of one of the ponds, and I saw the great blue heron and just enjoying the end of the day out here where there are no power lines, there is no traffic, maybe some bikers and kayakers and fishermen out here just enjoying the afternoon like me. And here we are for Monday Meta. And this Monday Meta is going to be a powerhouse. There are many things that I want to talk with you about today. And the first thing I want to say is the mantra or the theme, probably the theme. The theme of this Monday Meta is slow your roll. And this theme is going to continue throughout the summer. So slow your roll. And what do I mean by that? And before we begin, I just have to say that everything that I'm talking about today applies to myself. And I have had to live it today, but I didn't want to. So experiencing the whole slow your roll, meaning slow down. Or you've also heard take a chill pill. Um, Give yourself a break. Go on hiatus. Slow it down. Take it easy or take it easier. Take it easier. All of those things I've had to do. So what I'm talking today about for Monday Meta applies to all of us under this great, powerful star called the sun. First thing I want to talk about in this theme of slow your roll, slow down, is the upcoming full moon. And that upcoming full moon is on the 28th. So that's just Thursday. This Thursday, June the 28th, we are going to have a full moon in the sign of Capricorn. I've got my notes here, a lot of things to cover, so I'm going to be referring to my notes. And thank you for those joining me here for Monday Meta. You're in for a treat. Lots of good information coming through today for this Meta loving kindness meditation to talk about. But first thing, we want to talk about the full moon in Capricorn. And the whole idea of the full moon is grandfather sun and grandmother moon are at opposite ends of the sky. And I liken it to them being on the dance floor and they are dancing a tango. And at this particular moment, the step is in the tango where they are furthest apart and they are gazing lovingly into each other's eyes. The lover and the beloved gazing at one another. And the fullness of their love is just, they're beaming it to each other, eyes to eyes. And so that's what the full moon is like, grandfather sun and grandmother moon, giving each other googly eyes from across the dance floor. So it's the fullness of both the sun and the moon. And the energy is focused here on culmination and fullness and fruition. And so here we have the full moon on Thursday in the sign of Capricorn. And so that's the fullness of Capricorn leadership, teacher, hard work, responsibility, all of those good grounded words. Also focusing on career. So that's what this culmination is for Thursday. We're lending some other planetary energies to that, namely the planet of Saturn. Everything I just said about Capricorn, you can say about Saturn as well. So it's about responsibility and hard work and determination, and also restriction and time. So when I started this Monday Metta talk about slow your roll and slow down and take a chill pill, that's what this is all about, really and truly. Um, And when I started talking about everything that I was saying I've had to live, well, I'm going to give an example of my own life. So I'm a Capricorn person, so everything is very regimented and scheduled, and this is first and this is second. So I'm very ordered and determined and hardworking, and time is of the essence for me. I'm always going to get things done because this is the time for this and the time for that. But when I was leaving work, granted, I even left a little bit later than I normally leave. The streets were all backed up and crazy cattywampus because I forgot. This coming week is a big to do in the downtown area where I work. So this street's closed off and that street closed off and this way to go and that way to go and all the mazes of places and traffic of people just wanting to get home and get on with their lives. Ay, caramba! All of my back ways were blocked and all of the traffic decided to go the same way that I was going. So it was literally slow your roll. And this full moon, so grandmother moon, full moon, is going to be sitting right next to the planet of Saturn during this time. So grandfather's sun is over here shining on this side of the dance floor, and grandmother moon is over here looking longingly and lovingly into his eyes. But right next to her is Saturn. And Saturn is saying, slow down, baby cakes. Take it one step at a time. Be easy. And oh, here's a spot on the dance floor that's a little loose. You don't want to step there. And oh, over here, watch this. And oh, don't go that way. So restrictions and obstacles and even some fears coming up. So be gentle with yourself and know that the whole idea of slow your roll, slow it down, take it easy, give yourself extra time. That's what this is all about. And so this full moon culminates with that and the idea of we got to slow down a little bit. And we're going to be focusing on ourselves, on our responsibilities and hard work and the way we order our lives. What's first and second and third and what's important and how we invest our time. You know, when we pay attention to something, we pay with our time. We pay with our energy. So what are you paying attention to? Because you're literally exchanging your energy for that thing. So there's that. That's coming up. Now, the next thing I wanted to bring up is what's upcoming. Oh, this is good stuff. So after this Thursday, we're going to start a new cycle. So the moon is going to wane and the energies of this full moon are going to unfold in the next couple weeks. So again, it's about time. It's about paying attention. It's about how you order your life and being responsible and integrity and in integrity with yourself. And we come to, let me get my sheet out here. We come to the partial solar eclipse. Ooh, that's coming up. Partial solar eclipse on July the 12th, and that is in the sign of Cancer. So in a solar eclipse is when the sun and the moon get together. So at this time, I think of the sun and the moon sitting on the couch together, grandfather sun and grandmother moon. They're sitting on the couch and they're canoodling, right? Oh, my little love bug. Oh, my schnookums. You know, they're so engrossed in each other and working on their relationship that they don't shine out. right? That's what the new moon is. They're so close together. And so here is this new moon in the sign of Cancer. So giving us kind of a reboot on our emotional system. That's what Cancer is all about, our emotions and how we nurture and sustain ourselves. So remember, this Thursday is all about our responsibilities and hard work and ordering our lives and being responsible. Now, when we get into July the 12th, with the new moon solar eclipse in Cancer, that's going to be about cycling up on our emotional guidance system and how we nurture ourselves, how we sustain ourselves. And with some other influences coming up with this, namely, we have the planet Pluto, the minor planet now. He's been demoted to a minor planet. Minor planet Pluto opposite our moon. So what does that mean? Pluto is the god of the underworld, and he brings up all of the dead stuff to get it out. So we could have major excavations in our lives around power and the misuse of power. So what do I mean? I'm talking relationships where your power has been compromised or there's an imbalance of power. I'm talking about situations in which you feel powerless, how you can balance that and get back on track, how you can sustain yourself in those places where you are undergoing a deep transformation. Pluto's all about transformation. And to look lovingly at yourself while going through and experiencing transformation. So this whole month from the 28th, where we have the full moon here in Capricorn this week, to the next 2 weeks when we experience the solar eclipse in Cancer, all of that is about really big changes in our lives. Really big changes. So be on the lookout and give yourself extra time and be very ordered in the way you want to get things done, but also be flexible. Be flexible because there are going to be a lot of stops and starts. And just like I experienced today, I bet you're going to have to find some new ways to navigate because you might have some roadblocks. And you might find some of your relationships will need to change. They might have to go. You might have to go so you can transform and be the best self that you can be. So that's a lot. That's a lot. And I have more. I have more. So the other thing, my notes out here, that I'd like to talk about is here in here this summer, the rest of the summer, we have a lot of retrograde. What does that mean, retrograde? Well, from the perspective of Earth, from the Earth-centered perspective, planets in our solar system, it appears that they are going backward. Now, they're not really going backward, but from our rotation and their rotation, it looks like they're going backward in the sky. And those generally mean in our inner life and our psyche is time to go within. Time to dig into ourselves on what they mean. So we are going to have 6 planets in retrograde. So that's 6 opportunities for us to examine our insides, all different facets of our insides. First, we have Jupiter in retrograde, been retrograde since March. So Jupiter is our higher mind and our wisdom and how we distill down details into a truth and a belief. So we are looking at our beliefs. We are looking at our higher wisdom. How can we tweak it? How can we develop it for the best of ourselves? So that's first. Second, we have Saturn, we just talked about Saturn. Saturn is responsibilities and hard work and determination and ordering our lives. So Saturn is in retrograde. So that's really taking a look at how we do that within ourselves. And how do we deal with roadblocks and restrictions? Like, how did I deal with it today when I couldn't get through my normal route? Well, I didn't do so well. I failed. I got quite frustrated, but I was able to recognize that. So, that's an area where I need to focus in this time frame. So, responsibilities, direction, order, and how do you handle roadblocks? Third planet, Pluto. Pluto has been retrograde since April. Pluto is the god of the underworld. He digs up the dead stuff to throw it out. It's about great transformation. So I bet you are experiencing in your life, somewhere in your life, you are becoming a butterfly. Somewhere you are no longer a caterpillar. That part has ended and you are becoming a butterfly. The lesson here is to love yourself during your time of becoming a butterfly. That can be so hard. That can be so hard. So love yourself. Slow your roll. Take a chill pill. Give yourself extra time and extra TLC. Next, we have the planet of Neptune. Neptune has gone retrograde. So now we're up to 4 planets in retrograde. Neptune is retrograde as of June 18th. So just last week, he turned around in the sky, the god of the sea. And so Neptune is all about our illusions. So this is the time to examine our own psyches, our own subconscious, to see where we might be operating in illusion and to see if we can enlighten. We've got some birds here talking, so they're echoing our message here today. So Neptune is going to help us reveal our inner illusions and to not listen to those voices. Choose a new voice. That's what I'm going to say about Neptune. Tomorrow, Mars goes retrograde. Mars. That is, so now we're up to 5. Mars is retrograde. Mars is the god of war. But in our lives, he's a personal planet that is our virility and our spark of life. Mars is the planet right when we are born. Boom, the great I am. So when the great I am goes backwards, which he does once every 2 years. So this is a time of whoa, a real slowdown. Instead of marching forward like a warrior into battle and I am here, Mars is going to go retrograde. So that means forward motion is going to be 2 steps forward and 1 step back, or maybe 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Depends on your particular sign and how your chart is working with these energies. So again, slow your roll. Watch out for roadblocks. Understands that restrictions are just part of this game. And here's another thing that Spirit is just telling me in my ear. No one is going to get there faster than you. That's important. You might feel extra slow and you might look around and see, where am I on this path? You know, I was watching women's field and track and field event and, running the track and running the races and they're all staggered and they're starting, right? So that when the gun goes off and they take off and race, they all have the same advantage. So in this time of Mars retrograde, when it feels like, man, am I going slower than everybody else around here? Why can't I keep up? Don't worry. No one is going to get there faster than you. Everybody is on slow down. So if you think somebody's out ahead of you, they're really not. Everybody is on slow down mode. And don't judge your inside by somebody else's outside. Whew. So that's Mars. Now who else we got? Oh, in August, we still have a little bit of time, but in August, Uranus goes retrograde. So now we're up to 6. We are up to 6 planets in retrograde. And that is the middle of August. Uranus. Uranus is the planet of sudden, unexpected changes and revolution. Uranus is the planet of aha moments. Wow. Aha. You didn't know what you now know, and you can't unknow it. It's good stuff, but sometimes it can shake up our paradigm. And so when Uranus goes retrograde, there are those opportunities to see past events in a brand new, aha, wow, I'm just getting that. And this is important. One writer said, and I want to quote this. This is Astrology King. I love his work. That's Jamie Partridge. He says, Uranus brings the chance of new relationships, and Saturn retrograde means that they would likely be karmic encounters or past life contacts. So think about that. When all these planets are going retrograde. Whew. So we need some Monday meta, don't we? We really need some Monday meta. And you know, I brought my tarot cards along. I brought my tarot cards along for this lovely afternoon. And I drew 4 of them. So if you'll stay with me, oh, my hand's falling asleep. If you'll stay with me, I've drawn some cards today. 4 different cards for these 4 different phases that we are going through. The first one is the full moon. What do we need to know about the full moon coming up? And this one was the 4 of Wands. So I'm just going to hold him up. Can you see him okay? The 4 of Wands. This is acclaim, celebration, victory. It's the guy coming back from the campaign, and look, everybody's welcoming him and cheering him on. So this is a time when you can congratulate yourself for a job well done. Understanding that we might be experiencing some roadblocks and slowing down. Congratulate yourself for the job well done. Pat yourself on the back. Give yourself some kudos, because there is always a gift with Capricorn, meaning that when you do the work, you will get a lasting reward. Whatever Saturn touches, whatever Capricorn touches, when you are responsible and do your work, the effect is lasting. Okay. Our next one, the solar eclipse. The solar eclipse coming up in July, on July the 12th, the solar eclipse in Cancer. Our card is the Page of Pentacles. Pentacles, that's earth energy. And the Page, he's the guy who wants to be a knight. He wants to go out on the campaigns, but he's really right now just polishing the swords and keeping all of the shields in good working order. He's an apprentice. He's learning. So this time of the Page of Pentacles, it's really learning, and because planets are starting to go retrograde and some of them are in retrograde, it's relearning to use your resources, or refinding, relocating your resources in money and health, abundance, your ideas and understanding of wealth. And when you encounter any blocks or constructions or obstacles, how can you use your resources to navigate through that with your feet on the ground? That's also the message of Pentacles, with a very earthly, grounded perspective. So there's that. Now, I drew a card, and this is wonderful. I drew a card about this time of all these planets in retrograde. Because we're talking retrograde, we're talking things turning around, really having to examine our insides and not having a whole lot of forward motion on the outside. Most of our work is going to be on the inside, and everybody's facing it. Everybody who is living on this planet now is going to be facing this. So here we have, for all of the planets in retrograde, we have the Strength card. I love that. Strength, numeral 8, and you see that lovely infinity symbol? Strength card. Strength is fortitude, courage, the heart of a lion. And the Strength card resonates with the sign of Leo. Leo, which is coming up later this summer, but Leo, the lion-hearted. Leo is what's called a fixed sign, so very steady. So we are supposed to have steady, courageous hearts. And I like to say that with Leo and being strong-hearted and getting through this time of these 6 planets in retrograde, it's all about just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. And when you learn a new aspect of yourself, or you rediscover something important about yourself, incorporate it in and just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. And I took a look ahead, and I wanted to also draw a card for all of us for July. For the whole month of July. And here we have the 5 of Cups. Cups, that's emotional energy and healing energy. So the 5 in any part of the tarot is climax and change. So here we have climax and a change. So you see 3 of those cups are spilled, but 2 of them are still upright. Unfortunately, this person in the picture only sees the spilled cups, only sees the spilled milk. But all he has to do is look behind him, and there are resources. But the 5 is climax and change. So think of it as you're at the top of the roller coaster. You've been click, 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 click. You know that sound and that feeling when you're going up, 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 and you're hanging right there at the top. That's the 5. You're right there at the top. It's the climax, and it's time for change. And so this is when you plummet down on the roller coaster. And is this going to be the most thrilling ride of your lifetime, or are you going to be hanging on for dear life thinking, oh, when is this going to end? That's what the roller coaster is like. That's a lot. So in this time of Monday Metta and all this information that I've given, it's important that we remain steadfast and in loving kindness with ourselves. And I share with you the Metta prayer that I do every Monday and talk about it when I go to Monday Metta Live. We start with ourselves. Then we think about somebody that we really, really enjoy being around, someone who is special to us. Then we think of someone that might be a little bit kind of not getting along with so well, or we don't have quite as fond feelings for, and give them some loving kindness practice. And we open it up to all beings. All beings. And the metta meditation that I like to use, the loving kindness prayer that I like to use, is this: may all beings be at peace. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. And may all beings be free. Just saying those words puts me in a different heart space. You know, that strength card, that Leo the lion-hearted, being steadfast in my heart, gives me that kind of courage and fortitude, just saying that prayer. So to move through this time with more ease, I think, I'm going to ask you to think of 5 things. Why 5? Because 5 fits on one hand and I only have one hand free. 5 things, 5 ways that you can put in your spiritual toolbox to add to a daily practice that makes you feel good, that makes you feel like you can navigate those roadblocks and fears and transformations and relationship changes and internal examining and the breaking of a spell of an illusion. 5 things that you can put into your emergency kit that you can pull out, oh, this works. Oh, this works. So that when you find yourself, like I did today, in a state of frustration because this road is blocked and that road and this detour, and then everybody and their mother's brother is right there in front of me, and it's slowing me down even more. When those things are really upon you, you can pull them out like, oh, I know what to do now. I know that this will help me through. Whatever it is for you. Whatever it is for you. 5 things. Because 5, remember? 5 is the number of climax and change. 5 says we're on the top of the roller coaster and we're getting ready to soar down the hill. It can be the ride of your life, the thrill ride of a decade, or it can be a hang on for dear life. So this is your Monday Metta. I am your host, Julie Hedges, and I come to you live from the Tarot Journey. As always, may the peace that surpasses all human understanding go with you.